All right, you can begin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ian Frisby, and I am a Bachelor of Fine Arts for Game Animation and Simulation Design. Here at the beginning of my portfolio, I have included links to my personal email along with my ArtStation account, which acts as my portfolio. To begin with, I would like to discuss some of my personal inspirations. Uh, I've always been inspired by Junji Ito, who is a horror mangaka, which basically means he makes horror-based comics, and he does the illustrations himself, along with writing the stories for them. Another huge influence of mine is Jindy Tartakovsky, who is an animator most well known for his work on shows like Samurai Jack. And he's also a 3D animator as well, who has worked on movies such as Hotel Transylvania. And then I've also been greatly inspired by Vincent van Gogh, who was a post-impressionist who is widely regarded to be one of the most famous artists in the world. To begin showing my work, I wanted to begin with the process of how I created Flo, who is the main character of our senior project, Bon Voyage. Here we have the initial concept design that Flo was based upon, followed by the very first iteration of its model. Uh, After feedback from those I was working along with, we then made the second design, which changed features of it to more fit the actual gameplay, along with an initial texture. Following this, I then created a final texture, and this is what is used in-game currently. At this point, I would then create a rig for the character, which a rig is basically the skeleton that allows a model to move and perform animations. When it came to the animations, here's it in-game. And these animations were made by me along with another student named Alex Suter. And here you can see in Bon Voyage the character moving, with it picking up items, with it dashing. That's the animation that happens when it runs into an accident of some kind. And this is basically what I did for our senior project game. Now, as far as other characters, Flo is not the only robot I have created. This here is the Shawcraft Mach Free Dalek, and this was created in Blender using the actual official blueprints that exist of the Dalek from the show Doctor Who. Um, this is not the only monster I have created either, as here we have a creature known as Mismatched. And here you can see the initial concept art that I created for this creature, followed by the final version that currently exists. To continue on with this trend of other original designs of mine, here is a character known as Aranya Abyss. This was a character that I modeled in Blender as well as texturing and creating the clothes and the rig, which results in these different poses that you see here. To move on away from my personal work, here is an example of some schoolwork I have done of a radar station that was created for the CAE project, which is a company that makes models and simulations for military training purposes. And here I chose to do a radar station because I thought it was one of the more interesting looking building designs that were available to create. To continue on with the realism modeling, here is a Desert Eagle 50 caliber that I modeled in Maya. And this was made to be an accurate depiction of the Desert Eagle, which is a very powerful handgun that is most commonly used in a lot of fiction. It's the type of handgun you'll see most often used in things like anime or manga, because it's easy to draw, but it implies the power that the gun has. Moving on to a created world project of mine. This was an example of a series of buildings I created for what was known as Phoenix Flame Incorporated, which is essentially this big research facility in the middle of the Arctic. This is part of a project that is still ongoing and being made at this point in time. Following this is an example of another 3D work of mine from Maya, where I recreated a painting here on the bottom right called Rooms by the Sea by Philip Koch, which was him doing his own interpretation of a painting of the same name by Edward Hopper. And that is all that I have to show for you for now. Thank you for your time.